this is a university, so that discourse should be allowed. And I think faculty should welcome that discourse instead of straying away from it.
Affiliating with the Middle Eastern Studies program, what those professors say is wrong with the way students are being taught.
Plus, students prepared to take the stage on campus tonight. Hear from one band ready to rock out.
But more than anything, I think the fandom space is going to have this revival and boom, and I think it's incredibly exciting.
And the future of sports fandom, what one expert thinks about esports and SU's newest program. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
And we'll bring you the story in a moment. Since October, there's been disagreement about how to teach the conflict in Middle East on campus. Thanks for joining us at News Live at 6. I'm Benjamin Schiller.
And I'm Katie Fongvongsa. Now, 4 professors are disaffiliating with the Middle Eastern Studies program.
And we'll have that story for you in a moment. The Women's School, meanwhile, is getting recognition for its diversity and inclusion efforts. The Insight into Diversity magazine, the oldest and largest DEI publication, is giving women the 2024 Inspiring Programs in Business Award. The award honors colleges and universities, encouraging and assisting underrepresented groups in the field of business.
Well, congrats to them, but it's March 1st, and that means that the start of Women's History Month starts today. The university is celebrating with a number of events, some including a concert celebrating female composers on March 3rd in Hendricks Chapel, a women's community climb the next day in Barnes Center, a panel highlighting Black feminism on the 7th in the Hall of Languages, and wrapping up a brunch on Saturday, March 24th at the Barnard McDuffie House. All these celebrations and more details can be found at the Syracuse events calendar.
Black History Month wrapped up yesterday. SU's Black History Month Committee is hosting a formal gala this weekend. The Black Tie event starts Sunday at 5. There's live musical performances and a buffet dinner inside the Goldstein Auditorium. Tickets are free for students.
And staying in Goldstein Auditorium, SU Danceworks is hosting their annual showcase tonight and tomorrow at 8. This year's showcase is themed Dancework Disco with performances to popular songs from the 70s. Tickets range from $3 to $7 and can be found on the online Syracuse box office linked below.
And you've probably been hearing hype around the movie Dune 2, myself included. It was briefly IMDb's highest rated movie by fans. Now it's down to number 3. If you want to catch the film at Movie Tavern in Camillus, Orange After Dark is taking students tonight. You can get tickets online through the student box office.
And the University Union show tonight is in the Shine Underground. Our reporter Lizzie Gottlieb spoke with one band performing tonight. Lizzie, what can students expect at the concert?
There's no better way to begin your weekend than with music. University Union's student show has a Y2K theme, so get ready for a blast from the past. The concert will feature music from bands on campus, including After Hours, Mimicking Mars, and Nick Jessup. I talked to the group After Hours to learn how their band was formed on campus. In the fall of their freshman year, drummer Goldie Singer and keyboardist Kira Walsh wanted to start a band of their own. They brought in bassist Darius Barharlow, guitarist Max Konevsky, and vocalist Bella Irano. The freshmen met for a rehearsal without hardly knowing each other. At the end of that late night, the name After Hours was created. The band currently plays covers from a variety of genres, including rock, funk, and pop. Bassist Darius Barharlow shares that he is looking forward to University Union's student show. After Hours wouldn't be what we are now if it wasn't for the awesome support of the people at SU. We're excited to be a part of a show put on by students for students. Students can see After Hours perform tonight for free with their student ID. Back to you guys.
Sounds like a lot of fun things going on campus, but it's almost time for a first look at our weather now. But across the country, a powerful Pacific storm is underway. The Sierra Nevada mountains are expected to get 10 total feet of snow by this weekend.
You heard that right, 10 feet. Snowfall began yesterday and is expected to just keep coming. The National Weather Service in Reno is telling those who live on the mountains to, quote, hunker down where you are.
And our Moira Vaughan is live with our weather forecast. Moira, we don't have anything like this in our future, right? Please tell me.
Now, Ben, luckily, I think we're going to be leaving the snow in the past, as yesterday we had that crazy winter storm. Looking right now, though, we're at 42 degrees, feeling like those upper 30-degree area range, so nothing like what we've been used to this crazy week of weather. Looking ahead to later tonight, we'll be looking at 39 degrees, feeling like those lower 30s, so just be careful, maybe put on a jacket, but nothing too crazy. I feel fine right now, and I'm not wearing a jacket. Looking across the region, though, we're going to be seeing those high 30s to lower 40s, and even some Rochester being 44, Elmira at 42, so we're still in that 40-degree area range some places. Later on tonight, I'll have more on your 5-day forecast. Guys, back to you.
Moira, thank you. We'll see you in a bit. Now to the latest now, an update from a car crash that led a police cruiser to hit the art store on Wednesday. Police say a woman driving a Honda ran a red light before hitting the police cruiser. Following the collision, the officer hit a fire hydrant on the corner of South Krause Avenue and Erie Boulevard before ramming into the front of the entrance of the art supply chain. The officer and mother were taken to local hospitals, both with minor pain. The woman was issued a traffic ticket.
And a man is suing the city of Syracuse after a crash involving a police officer. Officer Michael Jensen violated police department policies when responding to a 911 call last summer. He ended up crashing into a Mazda sedan at an intersection. Police already disciplined Jensen for the crash, but now the driver of the sedan, Radell Oliver, is seeking a judgment against the city. Oliver's lawyer says he is still receiving treatment from injuries from the crash.
And now to some county news here in the 315. Nonprofits around the county are receiving a boost from local investors. The CNY Community Foundation is partnering with local credit unions to offer short-term loans to the organizations. The funding initiative is aimed to help speed up the process for nonprofits that have already been promised grants from the state, but they're still awaiting the money. Companies can borrow anywhere from $25,000 to $150,000 of the $500,000 pool with interest rates of 6%.
And a new community mental health space is opening in Syracuse. It's called Safe Space, and its goal is to give the resources for people to self-manage their own mental health. The nonprofit is supported by groups including those with postpartum, teenagers, and those in the LGBTQIA+ community. The space is expected to offer classes and workshops from art therapy to yoga and more.
Well, it's almost dinner time here in Syracuse, but if you have dinner plans this week, you may need to schedule a reservation earlier than you're used to. Today marks the start of Syracuse Dining Week, the 20th edition of the yearly event. We'll see 46 participating restaurants, some of which you can see on your screen. Keeping with the low-cost tradition, you'll find 2-course lunches for less than $15 and 3-course dinners for under $40. The event and its specials run until March 14th. And coming up on News Live at 6, concerns about your safety if you make a wrong turn. Changes to property laws and the use of deadly force across the country.
Plus, the IRS is going after the nation's richest. How the agency says some haven't been paying their fair share.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
You're watching Citrus TV News live at 6 with Benjamin Schiller, Katie Fongvongsa, and Moira Vaughan. Now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome back into News Live at 6. Now to the story we promised you at the top of the show. The Middle Eastern Studies program is facing backlash from multiple professors here at Syracuse University.
Citrus TV reporter Leah Cohn spoke to the students and the founder of the program, who say the main goal of the program is to engage students in diverse conversations.
Be able to voice their opinions without fear of backlash or getting in trouble or being punished by the university.
SU sophomore Olivia Boyer, enrolled in the Middle Eastern Studies program, says she hopes that Syracuse University provides a safe space in Middle Eastern Studies courses for students to engage in civil discourse. Mirzod Bodojardi founded the department. He says the program should allow all voices and opinions to be heard.
But the fact of the matter is that, in my view, nobody has a monopoly over truth. Right? After all, judgments can be subjective, right? And I don't think there should be any real serious red lines.
Since October, discussion about the Middle East has increased on campus. Some community members feel that the Middle Eastern Studies program has become a divided space. 4 professors at Syracuse University renounced their affiliation with the Middle Eastern Studies program in early February. Now, I spoke with these 4 professors, and 3 of them are not on campus right now, and they said they will only speak about this topic when they are together in person as a unit. Amy Callender, Jeanette Jolie, Carol Fada, and Donna Olwan shared a collective de-affiliation letter that was sent to the Middle Eastern Studies Director, deans of Maxwell and Arts and Sciences, and each of the professors' individual departments. The letter summarized their upset due to restricted conversations and campus response to, according to the professors, the unfolding genocide in Gaza. The professors say in their letter, despite many of our efforts over a number of years, the Middle East Studies program at SU still has no structures in place for regular consultation, deliberation, or democratic decision-making. A faculty organization on campus, Faculty for Palestine at SU, shared their statement of support for the professors by sharing their letter on the FJPSU Instagram page.
Now to some national stories. Across the country, 2 very different stories are playing out surrounding trespassing. We'll start last April. A New York woman and her friends pulled into a driveway after getting lost. The group did not have cell service and then pulled into the wrong home. The homeowner said in court he felt threatened and thought he was being blocked in. He then grabbed a shotgun and fired a warning shot and then a second shot, which killed the 20-year-old driver. Today, that man was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison for second-degree murder, reckless endangerment, and tampering.
And across the country, in Arizona, many fear stories like this could become more common. A bill is advancing through the Arizona legislature allowing deadly force for people trespassing on private property. The bill's sponsor, Republican Justin Heap, says the bill is intended to close a loophole leading to increasingly large numbers of migrants moving across farm and ranch land. Arizona Democrats are fiercely opposing the bill.
And Representative Annalise Ortiz, a Phoenix area Democrat, said the bill would create, quote, open season on migrants. While Democratic Legislative Campaign Committee spokesperson Albie Rahman says the bill, quote, encourages Arizonians to shoot first and ask questions later. Meanwhile, Republican Representative Alex Colodin is praising the bill for protecting those who could be prosecuted for using excessive force and trespassing cases, saying, quote, this is a great Second Amendment bill that is also protecting the rights of the accused to make sure we are taking ambiguities out of our law.
A case like this one being discussed in the Arizona bill is already in the judicial system. An Arizona rancher will go on trial next month after an illegal immigrant was found dead on his property. The rancher says he only fired warning shots.
And now they aren't the only states looking to address the migrant issue. With new laws, yesterday a Texas law was blocked by a federal judge that would have given police broader power to arrest migrants suspected of being in the country illegally.
We can expect lawmakers to speak out about these new law changes as a national issue that could impact policy around the U.S. and here in central New York.
The CDC is changing its COVID isolation guidelines. Americans with COVID-19 no longer need to isolate for 5 days, the CDC says. If your symptoms are mild and it's been 24 hours since you had a fever, you can return to your regular activities.
The CDC wants recommendations to align with how people respond to the flu. Locally, St. Joseph's Health is making a move in the same direction. The hospital going back to mask optional in patient areas. In early January, it told visitors to put the mask back on. That's no longer in effect.
Now to the latest in two cases involving former President Donald Trump. In Florida, a judge ended a scheduled hearing today in the classified documents case without a set trial date. Prosecutors are hoping for July. Trump wants that date to be in August.
Meanwhile, in Georgia, a judge heard closing arguments over whether Fani Willis can continue to prosecute Trump for election interference in Georgia. Judge Scott McAfee says he expects to have a decision in the next 2 weeks.
And sticking with political news, the IRS plans to go after more than 100,000 high-income earners who have not filed their tax returns. The agency says hundreds of millions of dollars were unpaid between 2017 and 2021. The effort is partly funded by the Inflation Reduction Act.
And it's not the only step the IRS is taking. Last week, the agency announced it would start dozens of audits on private jets owned by businesses. The IRS will investigate if jets were used personally by executives but written off as a business deduction.
And coming up on News Live at 6, how this February was different from any February in Syracuse history. Stay with us.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Wait. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
breathe right into your foot,
your plumber's masseuse,
yes,
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome to my house. Everybody's pretty tired of each other. The walls were closing in. Clearly a case of too much family, too close, 24/7. If this sounds like your house, try going someplace new. YourLifeYourVoice.org. You'll find lots of ideas to help you handle the family stresses of being confined to close quarters. YourLifeYourVoice.org. It could help you find a little more breathing room.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Now, we've had some crazy weather this week. We've had the summer sunshine on Tuesday, and now we had a winter storm yesterday. I especially want to emphasize, though, that this February is the hottest February in Syracuse history since they started recording the weather in 1903. Now, I have a little bit of a Dance Moms Pyramid, a little bit of a history lesson of the top 3 hottest Februaries in history recorded. February 2017, it was an average of 33.4. In third place, February in 1981, throwing it back to the 80s, we have an average of 33.7. Now in first place, you can take the cake, February 2024. February 27th was the 3rd hottest day in Syracuse history with an average of 34.5 degrees. Now, if you're a little bit confused on what the next 5 days are going to look like since this weather's been absolutely crazy, don't worry, I have you covered. I'm kind of calling this week a little bit of a sunshine sandwich. We're starting with the rain tomorrow, but then Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we're going to be seeing those gorgeous sunshine like we did on Tuesday again. And then looking ahead to Wednesday, we'll be seeing that rain again. Hopefully tomorrow's rain will wash away all the snow we're seeing today. Now, looking ahead to later on, Looking ahead to later on, here are my two top pictures from this week. We have the mood swings of Syracuse. We have the gorgeous sunshine, and then later yesterday, this was the same exact spot with some of this insane snow. That's all from me. Guys, back to you.
Well, Moira, I mean, this week alone has been a summary of what Syracuse weather actually is. But hey, let's talk about sports now. With the world of sports becoming more digital, it has left many people wondering what's next for the future of sports fandom.
Citrus TV reporter Jackson Breslin is here in studio with insight into the future of our favorite pastimes. Jackson.
Thanks, Ben and Katie. Online content is becoming a larger part of our daily lives. This includes the digitalization of sports, a note that internet and sport commentator Tony Cowan-Brown talked about earlier today. Cowan-Brown spoke with students about the future of sports fandom. In recent years, esports have become a mainstay in world sporting culture. This explosion of popularity is evident on SU's campus, shown by the construction of a new esports facility in Shine Student Center. One student gave his thoughts on the construction and where the money may be better invested.
Me personally, I have a history with esports. During the pandemic, I was really into esports. I don't know, I feel like it's a waste of time though. I wouldn't invest that money into it personally. I think investing in training facilities for our athletes here would be better for that money.
Cowan-Brown commented on how esports provides more inclusive opportunities and that the construction is warranted.
Not everyone has access to be able to just go out, go to an event, go outside, play a game. And so there's some people who actually are brilliant in the space of esports. I think that's warranted. I think actually some people would probably say it's about time.
While esports may provide more inclusivity, Cowan-Brown mentioned that there are still issues at hand.
It doesn't mean that the spaces are more welcoming. The online community can be real harsh.
Still, despite the constant evolution of sports fandom, the future is looking bright.
But more than anything, I think the fandom space is going to have this revival and boom, and I think it's incredibly exciting.
Reporting in Syracuse, Jackson Breslin, Citrus TV News.
Jackson might not be esports, but can't wait to build the next Syracuse dynasty in EA Sports College football this summer. I'll name my coach Felicia Leggett-Jack for the work she's done with the Syracuse women's basketball team. See how her squad fared yesterday on the other side with sports.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Syracuse women's basketball had a chance at history in a top 20 clash. Welcome into sports. I'm Ian Nicholas. Number 19 SU on the road last night against number 12 NC State. This game was so good, and the opportunity for Syracuse to pick up win number 24 on its regular season, something it's never done before. But you know what? We're just going to skip the first 3 quarters. We're going to take you straight to the 4th quarter because this was a classic down in Raleigh. 6 minutes to go. Isabel Varejao with the and one. Syracuse takes the slight lead, but a minute to play. NC State ties it up. Reynolds Coliseum is roaring, a sold-out venue. River Baldwin gives the Pack the lead by 2. Half a minute to go. Deasia Fair with her team still down 2. Air ball from Varejao. Alyssa Latham, the offensive rebound. She comes up in a huge spot, drills both her shots from the foul stripe. Then another freshman gives Syracuse a slight lead in overtime. Sophie Burrows the triple, but NC State, this is a team led by Wes Moore that is one of the best in the ACC, and the Wolfpack end up winning 75-71 in the extra period. Syracuse men's basketball, meanwhile, an opportunity to also go on the road, pick up a big-time win against Louisville. This is a team that the Orange cannot afford to lose to in the Cards. Louisville just 8-20. They're the worst power conference team in the net rankings in all of men's college basketball. In order to make sure SU doesn't get upset at the KFC Yum Center, Judah Mintz, the guy you see on the right side of your screen, he needs to show up. In his last 5 games, Mintz is averaging 21 points per game. He had 29 points over the weekend in a big win against Virginia Tech, which you're seeing right now. Second most points in his collegiate career. That game tips off at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Syracuse and Louisville. Sky Clark, on the other hand, remember him in that Louisville game? He was a beast earlier last month. The Cards only lost by 2, and that's because Sky Clark was a monster. Inside the Dome, Syracuse men's lacrosse, a chance to bounce back after a tough overtime defeat to Army on Wednesday. A nice get-right game against High Point tomorrow, and for Joey Spallina, he hopes he can get right. Didn't have a goal against the Black Knights, but that doesn't matter. His teammates, they still have Spallina's back.
And it's going to happen for him.
Yeah, I got something on that. You know, Coach alluded to it, but Joey's a sophomore, and he's getting the best defenseman on him every game, right? And they're trying to take him out of the game, and he's not going to have 10 points every single time he plays. It happens, right? But when they're on him, it opens up the rest of the offense, and I think you guys need to realize that, and people around need to realize that. People are just way too hard on him.
Well, Christian, I'm sorry. I'm going to be a little more hard on Joey because he has had 4 turnovers, a career worst in each of the last 2 games. Does have a chance to get back to what he usually is, which is one of the best players in the country. Number 22 for a reason. Opening draw for that one is at 5 o'clock. Our coverage, you can follow at Ryan Bridges TV on Twitter. He's a little annoying. He is my roommate. You might not want to give him a follow, but I highly recommend it. It's a doubleheader tomorrow for lacrosse. It actually starts at noon. Syracuse women's lacrosse, a top 5 team in the country. It's ACC home opener after taking down the number 2 team in the country last weekend on the road in Notre Dame. Now they play the Duke Blue Devils, who have the best score in the country in this young season, Katie DeSimone. SU a chance to get above 500 for the first time all season. You can follow at Rahil Jaswal for updates of that first leg of a lacrosse doubleheader in the Dome tomorrow. That's all I got with sports. Ben, back to you at the desk.
A big lacrosse and a big basketball weekend here in Syracuse. After the break, your morning weather forecast with Moira Vaughan.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know. That's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Now, tomorrow when you wake up, it's going to be 41 degrees with some rainy conditions. Guys, back to you.
That's Citrus TV News Live at 6 for this Friday. I'm Benjamin Schiller.
And I'm Katie Fongvongsa. Have a great night, Syracuse.